Hello and welcome to the video. With the release of the Nintendo Switch 2 this year, Nintendo are currently riding the wave of the original Nintendo Switch. So they have released a new console known as the Nintendo Switch 2, which is basically a bigger Nintendo Switch, but is also backwards compatible. So there's a lot of new features on the Nintendo Switch 2, and I thought I would talk about the backwards compatible games. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about 5 games I believe you should play on Nintendo Switch 2, which were originally Nintendo Switch games and still playable today. And yeah, just watch the video. Released in 2017, this game is known as Super Mario Odyssey. In this game, you play as Nintendo's most famous character known as Mario, and you will travel to 14 different worlds. In these worlds, you will explore them with the character known as Cappy, a character that lives within Mario's hat and is able to transform Mario into different characters, creatures, all kinds of things to basically explore the worlds and collect moons. In this game, Bowser, who is Mario's ultimate villain, his most famous villain, one of the most famous villains in all of gaming. If you don't know who Bowser is, perhaps just, why are you here? Bowser has kidnapped Princess Peach, taking Princess Peach to be his bride-to-be. It's up to Mario to basically go to these different worlds, collect these moons to gain enough power to save Princess Peach from Bowser. So what you will do in this game is you will transform into these characters to move around the worlds, and yeah, it's fun. It's very fun. Super Mario Odyssey is a very well-made and polished Mario game. It's not my favourite Mario game, I'll be honest, but I will say that it is one of the greatest Mario games when it comes to the content that's involved within the game, how much gameplay there is, what you can explore and do within the game. It's definitely up there as one of the best Mario games. It's also a very good game for its playability, how well it controls, and basically Mario in this game is just, he runs so well and plays so well, the controls are so good. And it's one of the best things about this game. My favourite game is Super Mario Sunshine, but this game also takes a lot of influence from other 3D Mario games within the past. So, for example, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, that's all in this game. Like all those games that you might have played in the past, they kind of all come together to make this game. And it's amazing. It really is. It's one of the best looking games on Nintendo Switch as well. One of the best things about this is it's very beautiful. Like, it's a callback and nostalgia as well towards the end of the game. There's so much nostalgia and feeling of being a gamer. You know, this game is very much a celebration of gaming in general. So I really appreciate this game for what it is and how it plays and how it treats Mario and its characters. I think this game is a challenge of casual and challenging gameplay. There's a lot of moons that are very easy for perhaps people who aren't as good at games, but there's also those moons within this game that are super challenging and really test players because of how good the platforming is. So that's one of the best things about this game, is how it ranges from easy modes to difficult modes and difficult areas of the game and easy areas of the game, and it's just amazing. It's a very good variety of skills and techniques and learning new things, and how you can basically start off as Mario and learning his controls, and then eventually towards the end of the game, you've mastered Mario and you've basically become the best gymnastic plumber in the world. It's really precise. The controls are just amazing. I will say this game is full of trial and error. Trial and error the game. That's the whole point of these 3D platforming games. To collect moons and stuff, you have to do these different tasks and challenges, and the trial and error aspect can get frustrating, but that's the fun of it. It's the part of the game is how you have to learn and adapt to the game and learn these new creatures and how they move and how they use their skills and all these different abilities that you can get using Cappy. So there's a lot of gameplay mechanics and different styles of game, and there's even a little RC remote control game in this. There's lots to do. There's a jump rope game. There's all kinds of stuff. One of my favourite areas in the game is New Donk City. Just exploring New Donk City is amazing. It's one of my favourite levels in any game ever. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the 5th installment into the Super Smash Bros. Series, crossing over games like Zelda, Mario, Pokemon, Persona, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy, so many different game series, and they all appear in this game. This is the greatest crossover fighting game of all time, in my opinion. It's phenomenal. This game pretty much has every single first party Nintendo series in it, as well as a lot of third-party gaming series. Some I can mention are Mega Man, Metal Gear Solid, Minecraft, Final Fantasy, and also Kingdom Hearts. Like, there's so many different game series within this game. It's basically a gaming hall of fame. What I see as Nintendo's unofficial gaming hall of fame, that's how I see it. I think it's really awesome for that because it's a celebration of gaming. The excitement of this game came from the anticipation and excitement of revealing new characters. So, for example, when Nintendo inevitably announced Super Smash Bros. 6, the best part about the build-up to playing a Super Smash Bros. Game is finding out which characters are going to be within Super Smash Bros. This game here has so many of them. I can't actually count how many characters are in this game. It's crazy. And also, like, the different stages you can go to. There's so many of them. It's the ultimate game for crossovers. There's 74 characters apparently, I've just looked up. So this game is actually a great way to explore series that you've never actually played before. So for example, I actually had never played Fire Emblem, and then because Fire Emblem is heavily featured within the Super Smash Bros. Series, I got into Fire Emblem because of that, because it made me want to play the games to see what they were about. And I also only played Kid Icarus Uprising because of Super Smash Bros. I had never played a Kid Icarus game before playing Super Smash Bros. So that's kind of one of the reasons why this game is so essential, is because it teaches you about other Nintendo series and other famous game series that you might not have thought about playing before. This game is crazy competitive, honestly. Online is so competitive. I'm rubbish at this game. I realise how bad I am actually at this game playing online because it's so competitive online, honestly. There's so many great Nintendo gamers out there who are Super Smash Bros. Competitive players, and seriously, this game is just super competitive. It's really fun. I really enjoy how fun this game is, and when you finally do win a battle, you know, like, how much you must get so much dopamine from playing this, because it just feels amazing to win fights. Like, seriously, online is so competitive that it's so hard, but it's also rewarding if you do start to win battles. On a stage, the idea is that you're supposed to knock each other off the stage. The more damage you do to a player, the more likely they are to fly off the screen. If a character flies off the screen, then they are wiped from the game, so they basically lose a life. And as soon as you lose a life, that's when you're ultimately out of the fight. So the more battles you do, the better you get at it, the more skills, and every character has their own different techniques and abilities. So you learn the characters as you play them. There's too many of them. I've never actually managed to learn every single character's moveset because there's that many characters. But yeah, when you do play them, and the more you play it, the better you get, and the more techniques you learn and abilities and movesets that you basically learn off by heart, you'll get better at the game, and you get quicker and more difficult to fight, because yeah, it's very good. Very, very good. In my opinion, this is one of the best fighting games of all time. Not just that, but it's easily one of the best multiplayer games on Nintendo Switch, in my opinion. It's very good, seriously. It's a game that is elevated by the fact that the gimmick of the game is just that there's so much content, and there's so many characters and levels to explore and stages to fight on, that it's just, that's the game. It's so unpredictable, and you don't know what's coming next because you don't know who you're going to be fighting next. Online is so competitive. It's one of the best multiplayer fighting games of all time. Honestly, I really do think this is great. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Released in November 2022, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are the first mainline open world Pokemon games. Now this game, I will just say, does suffer on Nintendo Switch with glitches, frame rate issues, art direction which is questionable. This game wasn't really optimized amazingly for Nintendo Switch. However, it has been updated on Nintendo Switch 2, so it is somewhat more playable now. Like, it's the graphics are improved, the frame rates are a lot better, the glitches should be non-existent anymore. But yeah, as a game itself, it's still worth talking about. But even still, even with all the glitches and frame rate issues, this game weirdly was still really fun to play. I really enjoyed this game when I first played through it on Nintendo Switch. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good game. So that is pretty much the reason why this game is on the list in a way, because Nintendo Switch 2 fixes most of the flaws that this game has. So it's worth picking up on Nintendo Switch for that reason. My favourite thing about this game is the ability just to explore Paldea, which is the region within this game. It's an open world region, It's kind of open world in the sense that it's there. You can literally just go out and go whatever direction you want to go. There's 3 different main story quests to take on within this game. And yes, you do have to unlock the abilities as you play. Like, you have to unlock Miraidon's abilities or Koraidon's abilities, and that will open up the world a little bit more for you. It is fully explorable though. It just means that you choose which gym you go to next. It does suffer though, this game, from the trait that the further you go in the world, you're going to encounter higher level Pokemon, so it does kind of squeeze you into areas, this game, I suppose. So for example, if you was to go really far into the world, you're going to encounter a lot of like high level Pokemon. The Pokemon don't level up with you, they level up in certain areas, which is what most open worlds do, I suppose. And it's very noticeable within this game, the fact that you have to kind of unlock abilities with your chosen legendary to even explore some areas within the game. It's kind of like the HMs, which were used in the older Pokemon games to like move objects around or open up new pathways and routes to get to new cities and areas within the game. But I do like the fact that this game never feels boring, just because there's so much to do in it. There's a lot of side quests and storylines to take on, and once you get to the end game as well, this game does feel like it's very... it all comes together. Like, all the storylines kind of come together, and it feels like it's a full piece of work, and the story isn't actually that bad in this game, in my opinion. I think it's one of the better stories in Pokemon. And as well, with the added DLC, which is there now, you can pick up... there's 2 main DLCs that you can get for this game, which extends the life cycle of this game for you. So yeah, I think it's a very good game. It's definitely worth picking up. I don't think it's the best Pokemon game ever, absolutely not, but it's still very good on Nintendo Switch. There is one Pokemon game I think is better than this, but it's not going to be featured in this video. But as a game, I think these are worth playing just because it's been updated for Nintendo Switch 2, and I think it might be worth revisiting if you have played them, or just checking them out on Nintendo Switch 2 anyway. One of the things I do actually really like about this game is the fact that you can play online as well. And so you can play the whole story basically online and play with other people alongside you. Like, you can literally just explore the world with another person and just, yeah, go into Pokemon battles and stuff with them and do whatever you want with another person in your gameplay. So it's fun. Like, it's got an interesting online mode, which I think is very underrated. It probably works better on Nintendo Switch 2 as well now. And of course, the final thing to say about this game is the main feature of this game is literally what every Pokemon game does. It's the got to catch them all mentality. You have to literally catch every single Pokemon. And it also, you can bring up Pokemon from other Pokemon games and put them in this game using the Pokemon Home app, which is really interesting. So, you know, it's a game that it completes the Pokedex, and if you want like the newest Pokemon within your team of Pokemon that you've got, this is where you'll find them. So yeah, here you go. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. In my opinion, this is the best Kirby game of all time. Released in March 2022, Kirby and the Forgotten Land sent waves into the Nintendo fan base. Nobody was expecting a 3D Kirby game to be released. Not only that, but this game actually turned out to be one of the best 3D platforming games ever, in my opinion, especially within like the last 10 years. I think this game is definitely up there. So this game definitely borrows from the 2D Kirby games, but it also kind of took inspiration from the 3D games of this era. So for example, Super Mario 3D World is a very big inspiration for this game. I mean, Mario in general is inspiring for most 3D platforming games, but I think this game definitely took Kirby from that 2D platforming game, which the Kirby series is known for, and translated it into the 3D gaming area, that gaming space, and really did it really well. Like, this is a really, really fun, well-made game, very well polished. It really is like a new contender within the 3D platforming space, this series. Kirby, I believe, is going to get new games like this, and especially now on the Nintendo Switch 2, where this has got expansion for it. It's got like this DLC. So the gameplay of this game is basically Kirby goes through like this portal and is warped and transformed into a new version of Kirby that can basically morph around objects. So for example, a gigantic traffic cone, Kirby can morph around that and then ultimately becomes the traffic cone, and can waddle around and then go and smash things up by jumping up and down and then turning upside down and using the point of the traffic cone to bust open new areas. Kind of like that. Kirby can take over a car and become a car basically, and then Kirby can also go around like a ring. So like there's like a ring that Kirby will go around and basically become the ring and then use that as like a form to create wind, so that you, for example, like on a boat, it's like almost like a sail kind of thing. Or you can shoot like big blasts of gust wind to defeat enemies, like that kind of thing. Kirby's basically got like loads of new abilities within this game that makes the levels very interesting and adds like new dynamics and gameplay mechanics to each level that makes them very interesting and fun. I generally think this game is a blast from start to finish, and it only gets better over time as well. The more you play it, the better it gets. The first time I actually played this game, I was thinking, this is going to just be a generic 3D platformer, isn't it? But then I played it more and more and more, and I just got more into it, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think it was a great game, and I think it's going to be up there as one of the best Nintendo Switch games. Whenever you see like a top 10 list, I think this will feature in the top 10 Nintendo Switch games in my opinion. Now, I did mention about the DLC. It's actually called Star-Crossed Worlds, so I just had to Google that because I could not remember. But yeah, Star-Crossed Worlds, and it's basically a new DLC, which is basically a new entire campaign which is getting added to this game. I can't comment on it yet because I've not played it. Obviously, if there's new content, it's worth playing because it's basically a brand new Kirby game being added to a Kirby game. I'm sure it'll be fun because this game has like this theme where it's like this post-apocalyptic world, which is supposed to be Earth, I guess. It's supposed to be a take on this world being like this forgotten land that doesn't exist anymore. It's all ravaged and derelict and stuff like that, and that's basically where this game takes place, in like this post-apocalyptic Earth. I think if you like that kind of story with post-apocalyptic worlds, this is definitely for you. My particular highlight for this game is that I really enjoy the ending to this game. The last hour of this game, like the main story, is absolutely bonkers. Honestly, it's crazy. It blew my mind, and it was just, I didn't quite understand how the game went from where it did to how it got to the ending hour. Like, it goes from 0 to 100 very quickly, but I was all there for it. Honestly, it's really good. I really recommend this game, and I think it's just awesome. Go check it out. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, if you have not played this game yet, go play it now. Apart from its sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, I generally think there's no game out there like this one. This game is just unreal. There's something about it that just sets itself apart from any game ever. Released in March 2017, this game came out and changed the industry. It really was. There's not many games out there that come out and instantly become classics. Like, this was a modern classic, literally from day one. This game also won Game of the Year at the 2017 Game Awards, so I really recommend it for that. It literally just stormed its competition. Everyone knows this game is one of the greatest games of all time. I think it's still better than a lot of games that come out today. So after the release of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, the Legend of Zelda series was kind of starting to feel a bit tired. It was starting to feel a bit repetitive, and everything had kind of been done, and Nintendo just kind of felt like they were making the same game over and over again. But then after that, I think Nintendo realised that they needed to change up the formula a little bit with Zelda, so they came up with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was the first open world Legend of Zelda game, and really changed that formula, made it a new thing. And that's kind of one of the things about this game, is that it's so open, there's so much to do, so many side quests and adventure storylines to play through. There's a DLC to this game which adds hours and hours of content. The game literally gives you all the tools you need in the first hour of the game, and just basically says to you, go out there, go play. That is literally what it is. This is the world of Hyrule, go explore it. This is your sandbox. And that is what this game is. It's literally, you get given everything at the start and you just go out and explore. Go see what's happening in Hyrule. Go to this location. Go to these 4 big, gigantic divine beasts that are out there, which are terrorizing Hyrule. It's a very big departure from the original Zelda series, but it's a great one. Like, this is a great change. And I think while it's somewhat diversive to a lot of people, like a lot of people like the older Zelda story and styles better. If you're into something that's a bit more modern and a bit more open, then this is perfect. Honestly, it really is great. This game actually went on to be the best-selling Legend of Zelda game there was, taking inspiration from games like Minecraft and also games like The Elder Scrolls. You can see that within playing the game, how open this game is with its sandbox and how it just lets you do what you really want to do. And because it was taking games from games that had already got like winning formulas, it was really helpful for this game to take the best of everything and just turn it into one game and create the best game it could be. So this game really did redefine The Legend of Zelda and brought in new fans to the series. There's so many more new Zelda fans out there because of this game. And I think Zelda's never been this big, what it is today. You know, back in the day when it was like the older Zelda games, the series, yes, it was popular, but it was never this popular. This is the game that really popularized the Legend of Zelda series and made it what it is. This game is new. It was never done before, and it really is that good. So this game really did redefine Nintendo as well. It wasn't just Zelda it redefined. It redefined the literal Nintendo as a company. After the disaster of the Wii U, this game was basically the game that reintroduced people to Nintendo. When the Nintendo Switch was launched, this game launched with it and brought everyone who really wanted to play Nintendo Switch to this game, because this was basically the game that everyone was playing. And it redefined Nintendo because it showed what Nintendo were capable of and really showed that Nintendo were willing to make games on this caliber. I think this game is literally the defining Nintendo Switch game. It's the game that everyone refers to when they talk about the best games on Nintendo Switch. Yes, there is Tears of the Kingdom, and I will talk about that game in another video in the future. But this game for me is the game that was there first, and it did everything that Tears of the Kingdom did before Tears of the Kingdom and really shaped what Nintendo games were going to become in the future. And I think this is quintessential Nintendo. Interesting how this is a release title for Nintendo Switch 2 as well, because Nintendo Switch 2 basically re-released with a Nintendo Switch edition of this game. And not many games can say that they were the launch title for two consoles. This game is still widely played today, and I think more so than even Tears of the Kingdom. I think a lot of people still play this game because there's just something about it. There's a magic to this game, and it really is the best Nintendo Switch game, in my opinion. I like Tears of the Kingdom, but this is just, I don't know, there's something about it that really makes me love it. It just feels full, it feels complete. There's just something about it. Yes, okay, there's a few flaws with the game. For example, the weapons system is flawed heavily, like the crafting and that, like there's not really great crafting in this, like cooking and stuff. But the world itself, that just takes over this whole game. It's one of the greatest open worlds in a game ever. So they were the 5 games. There is actually 6 here, but one of them is 2 games. Yeah, these are the 5 games that I picked, and I think for now these are truly some of the games that Nintendo have shown off to be the best of Nintendo Switch era. And I think with the Nintendo Switch 2 out now, it's no time is better than now to go and revisit some of these games that were available on Nintendo Switch. These are getting cheaper, these games. They're a lot cheaper now that Nintendo Switch 2 is out. I think with Nintendo's price ranges of most games coming out around about £80 to play, there's no better time now than to go check out some of the older games and catch up with the best of Nintendo while you've got a Nintendo Switch 2 and just see how they run better on Nintendo Switch 2 in general. So these are the games I've picked. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I say, these games are just like Nintendo's formula now. Like you know Nintendo because they have like their own polish and their own way of doing things. Yes, okay, some of their games can be flawed. For example, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet did not run well on Nintendo Switch, but now it actually runs a lot better on Nintendo Switch 2. So if you've got Nintendo Switch 2, perfect time to play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's still a great game, even on Nintendo Switch. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe on the channel. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm trying to get to that 2,000 subscriber point. I am now back to YouTube. I'm going to try and do videos like this. I've had to reset up my studio because we're making a lot of changes in the house. So there's a lot of things going on in my life that are changing. So I've had to kind of change the way that I do this. So this is my new way of filming. So I hope you like the new background and stuff like that. I've got my new light in different places, and I've had to move my camera to a different room entirely and all my equipment. So yeah, this is kind of a first attempt to make a video in this new setup. So I hope it's gone all right. I've also started scripting a little bit better, stuff like that. So check these games out. Seriously, go do it. Please do. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye.